Welcome to the Howell Business Beat, where we delve deep into the dynamic world of entrepreneurship, innovation, and success stories, bringing you the latest insights and strategies to thrive in today's business environment. Join us as we interview today our special guest and some really amazing entrepreneurs, Stu Strahan with Fastest Labs and Beth Smith with Beth Smith Couture. Welcome, both of you. And I'm also joined today by my co-host, Dianne Samples. Thank you, Dianne, for joining us today to be part of this dynamic conversation.
I am really excited for this today. This is going to be fun.
Awesome. Well, I want to hand it over to you guys, our guests of honor today. So we are really excited to be here talking with you and hearing firsthand your stories of the wins and the woes of entrepreneurship, right? So first of all, I'd love to start by giving you the opportunity to just introduce yourselves and share a little bit about why you do what you do. Who wants to go first? Any takers?
So my business is Beth Smith Couture, and I make custom clothes for women. I've been sewing my whole life. And so, that's fine. But about 5 or 6 years ago, I hadn't been sewing for myself, but I was so tired of shopping for clothes and they didn't fit. Everywhere I went, I couldn't find clothes that fit me. And I always felt bad about myself, or like something was wrong with my body, or that I needed to change something about my body after I finished shopping. And then I started sewing clothes for myself. I had sewn for others all the time. I started making clothes for myself that actually fit me in length, in circumference, all the ways, and also styles that were good for my particular body type. And I've never been a tiny, thin girl, but I could look in the mirror and feel happy and joyful. And I thought, you know what? I bet I'm not the only one who feels like this. And so I just started with skirts. And I have this wrap skirt that's like kind of an adjustable waist wrap skirt. It fits a lot of people. It looks good on most body types. And they sold really well. And then a couple years ago, I learned how to do pattern making, and now I design everything, and everything's custom, and I feel great, and my clients are always happy at the end.
That is an amazing story. I love hearing that. We were chatting this morning a little bit about, so my background is in fashion design. And one of the designers that always spoke to me and that I drew a lot of inspiration from was Madeleine Vianney. And she was known for working on the bias, which was really revolutionary at that time. But really, she spoke to how the fabric would lay and how she did what she did because of the way that it made women feel. And when you put on something that you can feel confident in or that fits your body type, how special that truly is. So amazing. I love hearing that. And she was very successful. So I have no doubt you're going to be too.
That gives me goosebumps because I think you hit the nail on the head right there, is that you can, if you have that confidence in what you're wearing, people don't realize how impactful that is. It's just like going and get your hair done and coming out. When you walk out, it's styled. You just feel, you have that sense of just confidence, and you can't put a price tag on that.
You feel good, and that reflects to other people, and then they react to you in different ways than they would when you're walking around kind of uncomfortable in your clothes. And so that's really the point, is to find a style that's personal to you and that you feel amazing, and you're not always adjusting or trying to make it look better.
Yeah, it's that old adage, dress for success. And, it's that feel.
It is. And
that confidence.
And people, I don't think, really put as much, or don't realize how impactful that really is on your well-being.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing your story.
How do you feel about that, Stu?
Personally, I was just going to say that. So, Stu.
Now I'm seeing why you brought me into this. When people talk fashion,
he's your guy.
I'm the last guy they think of. I'm bringing the tail end.
So, Stu, share a little bit about your journey and why you got into doing what you do. Share a little bit about your business as well, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Stu Strahan with Fastest Labs, and we provide a 5-star service for drug testing for pre-enrollment drug testing for companies, as well as random testing for DOT drivers. And that's pretty much the most of what we do. We also have some really cool DNA tests that kind of tie in with paternity and ancestry and that kind of stuff too. So yeah, that's real cool. But the most of what we do is more the drug tests for that. And it's funny, yes, what led me to get into this. I wish I had a really cool transition story like she does, but mine's a little different. Less fashion and more dirt and sweat. But anyways, I've been in and around construction for 36 years. I've had a CDL for 36 years. Spent my whole life in the dirt and concrete, roofing, all that kind of stuff. And I was I'll give you the quickest version I can think of here, but a couple of years ago, I was about ready to start another business. My son was looking at a few different options, and he found a cool franchise he wanted me to check out. He said, hey, can you go down to Texas and check this out? So my wife and I, we flew down there. We kind of met the team down there, got to see what it was all about. And it kind of caught me by surprise because I wasn't really looking anywhere near that because everybody said, if you're going to do a business, you need to do something you're passionate about. Now, I'm passionate about a few different things, but hair test, nail test, urine test were not really something I consider I'm passionate about. Sorry, I'm trying to glam it up a little bit.
You're doing great. You are.
But what I am passionate about is the good, hardworking men and women of America. And I saw that with drug testing, this is something that typically most of the places you walk in the door, they treat you like an inmate and they keep you waiting for hours on end. So they don't appreciate you. They don't appreciate your time. So when I found through Fastest Labs that we don't have to reinvent the wheel because drug testing, there's only so much you can do with that. So the basics are the basics, but we could apply customer service in a place that has not been there. I fell in love with that idea. We came back from that thing 6 months later. We had our first location up and running. And that's my favorite thing about it, is just working with people, treating them well, treating them respectfully, being respectful of their time, getting them in, get them tested, get them out the door so they can go back to their lives and not sit in somebody's lobby all day long, because that doesn't help the employer and it doesn't help the employee either. So that's kind of where I'm at.
What you're doing. I love it. And I do think that, I don't even know how long we've worked together now or how long I've known you. It's been a while, probably since you opened your doors.
Yeah, just a little. Just under a year and a half now. So.
Right. It's amazing to see how you jumped in just immediately. I mean, you were just in it 100%, a part of the community. Now, some of it makes sense because I didn't realize your background was in construction, and you are honestly probably one of the hardest working people I know. And it's really apparent in pretty much everything you do. So it's been a pleasure to get to know you and to be on this journey with you. So as we enter Small Business Week and we're talking about entrepreneurship and jumping in full, head first, all in, what are some experiences that you guys can share with us and with some of our other entrepreneurs and small businesses out there that, I kind of preface the conversation, our wins and our woes. I mean, what are some really wonderful things that you've found on this journey? What are some of the challenges that you've been faced with?
Ladies first.
These aren't really tough questions at all. No.
One thing I know is that I want to work with people and I want to talk to people and I want in-person relationships. Running an online store was not for me. I had one of those. I like having a relationship with my clients, and it helps me to make them close that really reflect them because I got to know them. And also I feel like this feels a little woo-woo to me, but there's some kind of energy when you're creating something for somebody and it goes into the close. And I just love that I can help somebody feel better. I'm a little bit off of the track here, but the wins are just getting to know so many people and work with so many people. Now, I started my business 5 years ago, and I have spent the last 4 years sitting in my workspace hoping that clients would come. This year, I decided that it's probably time to go out and find people. Like, I have a big following on social media, but that's not bringing me clients. It's just like people are liking my stuff, and that makes me feel good for 3 seconds, but it's not bringing me business. And so that's why I joined the chamber this year, and it has been amazing. So what I would say is find people to talk to, find other business people. They don't even have to be in your same business area. Just find people who are building their own business and talk to them and get out and kind of build relationships that way, because it really helps to encourage you to continue when everything kind of maybe feels hard.
Yeah, hard. Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing I would say is find a coach, join the chamber, use the chamber. Don't join the chamber and then not read the emails or not go to the activities, and
programs.
Take advantage of all of the things that are there. So I know I'm not sucking up to you guys, I promise. It really has been amazing, and I've only been a member for a few months.
Oh, good. We're so happy to hear that you've had a great experience. What are some of the things specifically, if you can recall? So where are you located? Let's share that with listeners.
I'm in downtown Howell. I have my studio is in my home.
Okay.
So, but I'm in downtown Howell, so easy to get to. And, I feel like it's kind of a homey. People can feel comfortable when they come in because it's my home.
Yeah, absolutely. It does provide a level of comfort and people feel invited. And so that's fantastic. Now, you spoke to a little bit about working with the chamber. It's been a few months. Is there anything specifically that has really, I think, been maybe transformational for you, or something that has maybe clicked differently?
There are the monthly happy hour mixers. I love those because I meet somebody new every single time and they all go, "You're in Howell? I didn't even know." And we exchange cards. And so I'm finding business for myself through other business owners. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about the small business, I'm not going to say the thing, grant that was available. I heard about that before I was even a member.
Oh, that's great.
Jennifer told me about it, and I was like, well, okay, I'll apply for that, and was happy to join that. And so I'm going to get coaching. That's exciting for me. And even, I don't know, I've just decided if I was going to be a member of the chamber, I was going to do it and go to all the events and things that are available. And it makes me feel better because I'm not just stuck in my business and looking at my computer all the time or my sewing machine.
I think that's right. And you talk about entrepreneurship, and I think that's one of the biggest challenges is that you're always working in the business instead of taking the time to work on the business. So I think that is a huge challenge, especially as you said, you're kind of, it's like this emotional roller coaster, right? Like it can be very turbulent at times.
And I also think that sometimes as a business owner, you can feel like you're overwhelmed with how much work you have to do. I can't take time away. I can't go to this thing because I have this other work to do. But I feel like I missed out on a lot of opportunities. Mm-hmm. But we're not being regretful. We're excited about the future.
Right. Absolutely. We live and we learn and move forward.
Well, it's also that sense of belonging, because sometimes when you are in that entrepreneurial mindset or starting a business, especially a solopreneur business where, you don't have employees, even if you are working in your home, you're your own support system. So it's nice to belong to something bigger than yourself that's contributing to the well-being and the betterment of the community that you're serving, and that is also patronizing your business as well. So it helps to have that sense of, it truly does take a village, and to have kind of your tribe to be able to fall back on and just feel like you have a space to go to, something to belong to.
I'm sure you guys can speak to that. I mean, I think entrepreneurship at times can feel very isolating.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Moments when you feel like you're kind of out on this island all by yourself.
Absolutely. With a franchise, they kind of give you a loose game plan of, this is the plan to follow, but you have to get very specific and very local with everything that you do. Also, times I go out and I have, seems like the same conversation over and over all day long, which a lot of salespeople get that. Even though they talk to 40 people in the same day, they have the same conversation over and over. And that's just kind of one of those weird psychological things where even though you're out talking to people all day, it still gives you that, you feel very lonely, like you're out there on your own. And, sometimes that's just the negative human nature of, you're on your own. If it is to be, it's up to me, and we get all that stuff. But, it's not just up to us. When we're a member of the Howell Chamber, we got a whole team behind us rooting for us and putting our name out there and doing that sort of thing. And luckily for me, I got a great family that I'm in business with. So my son owns half, my wife and I own half the business, and our daughter works for us. So we got a great team together, and we've been working together for many years with different projects. We've had a couple other businesses over the years, but definitely nothing that really prepared it for this, which kind of leads me to your question a few minutes ago was, are there any challenges? Well, when we started this, I was about 51 and a half years old. I barely knew this industry existed, and I had no idea how the business worked, and I didn't know a single person in Livingston County. So other than that, it was pretty easy.
You just
didn't have any mountain to climb,
checked
yeah.
every box. There you go.
So if you're going to do it, cover your eyes and jump in. So that's what we
Right.
did. So that was imperative for us to jump in with the Howell Chamber, because that's how I got to know people. And like you said, I appreciate your kind words about working hard and that kind of stuff. But if I'd have started this in my 20s or 30s, I'd have a little more time in front of me. None of us are guaranteed 5 minutes from now, let alone 5 years from now. But odds are against me that being 53 now, that I got less years in front of me to get this done. So I got to hit the ground running. So I love to meet a bunch of people. It's been great to get to know all the people in the chamber.
What are you talking about? I am 60.
Well, I'm not saying I'm hanging on my last thread or anything,
But you know what I
had to hit
also
the ground
love
running. So
about you, Stu, and it's been evident from day one since the first event that you came to, was that you always come into it as, how can I help someone else? It's never really been about you, or at least the conversations that we've had or that I've overheard you having. It's always about, how can I help the other person? How can I get to know them? It's about listening and really trying to zone in on what they need and how I can help you. And I think that's a key component to a mindset of anybody, really anybody in business. Right. But especially when you're, like you said, you didn't know anybody, and to just walk into these events and or these different programs, and you were just always had a smile on your face, you were approachable, and you just, like you said, you just walked up and we're just having conversations. It wasn't necessarily even about your business.
Right.
And it's just building that, just that rapport with people. And I will give you a huge plug, because it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
We have a committee meeting tomorrow morning. I mean, I'll throw out Balloon Fest. I mean, you were our go-to guy all weekend. And it's a long weekend. And it was always, what can I do? Put me in, coach. Where do you need me?
But you talk about forming relationships, and I mean, that's something that you can do, members can do, small businesses, entrepreneurs can do to really get involved. And it's different. The relationships that you form when you are there all weekend long on Balloon Fest grounds, and it is hot and the wind is blowing or whatever the case may be, but you're just there and you've got each other's backs, and it forms a really more deeper, meaningful connection. That's one of transactional. And like Dianne said, it's that reciprocity, and that's what business is. That's really great. I wanted to have you share a little bit more, Stu, on, so we talked about some of the woes, some of the challenges, and then, so what are some of your wins?
Some of my wins. Great question. So one that I'd like to share, I met a gentleman down in Ann Arbor. We opened our Ann Arbor location about 4.5 months ago. And take a step back, my philosophy has always been, if you help enough other people get what they want, you're automatically going to get what you want. And I just love to live my life that way. I mean, I'm not saying I have the fruit on the tree to show off to everybody that that's a great way to do it, but I know it's coming, and if it takes a little bit of time, I'm good with it. Mm-hmm. So nothing's good's going to happen overnight, no matter what you're doing. So we know we got to put the work in. We celebrate every little victory along the way. But back to Ann Arbor, when I first went down there, we opened up our store. Mary Beth Patricas from Brighton introduced me to a gentleman down there. So I think you guys hit it off pretty well. So I think it was our second week open. I had him come into the store, or the office. He wanted to see what it looked like. And we weren't interrupted by any clients because it was our second week there. So we had plenty of time to hang out and talk. So that was kind of fun. So we had a pretty good conversation for a while. I told him about our business, gave him the tour. We talked about a little bit what he did. And at the end of a great conversation, he says, before I go, I just want to throw this out there. He says, I was called by God a few years ago to put a team together where we pray every week for for-profit businesses. I looked at him, and he must have thought I was a little confused on what he was saying because I didn't hear it right. He said, yeah, that's it. A lot of people like to pray for the charities and in the churches and all this great stuff. He said, but I was led to pray for for-profit businesses, and I was just wondering if you'd like to be added to that list. So, well, yeah, pick me.
Right. Can't sign up quick enough.
That's right. So we did that, and then try to make this a quicker version, but I think that was just be around Christmas time, something like that. I don't remember the exact date. But anyways, the following week, I finally got my stuff submitted. As you know, I'm not a tech-savvy kind of guy, so it probably took me a little longer just to sign up for that than it should have. But anyways, I got my name in, he put it on the list. So they prayed on Monday. They sent me an email Tuesday, we prayed for you, and they listed a whole bunch of specific things that they prayed for my business and the other businesses in the area. And it was extremely relatable to some challenges we were going through at the time and everything. So it was kind of funny. It felt like it was just for us, even though it was for this whole group. But And then Wednesday we had off because it was New Year's Day. And then the first thing Thursday morning, I got to the office, and before I could do anything else, my phone rang. And it was a nationwide company that is huge in the drug testing industry. They work with some of the biggest companies in the country and around the world. And they said, hey, was wondering if you'd want to team up with us for a hiring event. So, and in my head, I'm thinking, I have no idea what that means. But yes, pick me.
Right.
I'll be there. I will figure it out. I said, yeah, if you could just maybe email me some of the details, and I'll put together a proposal, and we'll work together on this. And they said, oh, yeah, we'll do that. So they got the email, transferred a little bit of information. So she immediately sent me an email. And I was trying to get that open, trying to come up with an answer with my fast typing skills. And then there was a ding. There was another email. So, oh, by the way, we're going to do one the following Wednesday as well. Would you like to do that? So, I reached out to the corporate. We'd come up with some ideas for pricing and stuff, how to bill them for that. And it went pretty well. After we did a couple of those, they said, hey, we got a couple more. And then we were just doing like one every couple of weeks. Then I reached out to him and said, hey, we got a great relationship with the Corning company up there. We're working hard to take care of your people. I think we got a good relationship. Do you have anything else we could do in this area? And then it was just like crickets. Like, oh, no, I crossed that bound. I shouldn't ask for too much. About a week and a half later, I got another email from them. Yeah, we reached out to Corning. They said they love you guys. You guys do a great job. By the way, we're doing 16 more of these hiring events, except they're going to be twice as big. Can you put the team together to come up here on all these dates? Thank you, Lord. Yes, I don't know how, but we'll figure it out. So we've been working our butts off and got a team together because my daughter runs the Hull location. My wife runs the Ann Arbor location. I'm running back and forth trying to get people in the front door at both of them. We had to get kind of creative to get a team of 4 or 5 people to take up there on a regular basis. So it's been quite a challenge, but it's been a huge blessing. It's a tremendous amount of work, but it's paying well. And it was a huge answer to prayer to, as most people know, if you've been in business for a year and a half or under, you're not wading through buckets of money somewhere to make things happen. You're really fighting and scraping. Maybe your savings is about spent from starting it running after the first year. It couldn't have happened for us at a better time, and I thank God for that. And that was a huge win, and we're still going to be doing that stuff into July, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. So that is my favorite win, probably our biggest win up to this point. Unfortunately, at some point it's going to end, but it's buying us a lot of time to get out there and start building more relationships and getting together with more local companies.
I was going to say, think of all the people that you're talking to, and you never know who and that's what I always tell people, you never know who those people know. I mean, everybody, maybe the person you're talking to, Beth, isn't necessarily going to be coming to you themselves to have clothes created, but maybe they have a daughter who's getting wedded or married, or a niece, or they have friends. So, you just never know whose answer to prayers you are. That does. You both are giving me goosebumps today.
Right, exactly. No, that's absolutely amazing. What an incredible win.
Yeah, that is.
But I also think, so the door is just wide open. Mm-hmm. That opportunity is going to lead to other opportunities, and we're excited to be with you in this journey. I'm so excited about that. It is absolutely amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So we're getting close on time here, but I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to just think to your own experience, and as we lead into Small Business Week, and we have, maybe entrepreneurs that are at a different cycle in their entrepreneurial journey than you are. Maybe they're just starting. Maybe they're thinking about growth or scaling. What kind of advice or what kind of words of wisdom might you offer to them?
I feel like I've been doing this slog for like 5 years, really working hard and not making as much progress as I would like. And so really my advice is not to give up, because even though I'm not growing as quickly as I want to, I feel like something's going to happen any minute, and now's not the time to quit. I just think if it's your dream, don't stop. Just keep going. It's going to happen. And get somebody to talk to so you're not by yourself being sad.
We don't want you to be sad.
Right. And that's a great point. We actually, one of the things, a new program that we just started this year because of feedback from entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, is our Business Owner Circle. So our Business Owner Circle is that group of trusted entrepreneurs that are facing a lot of the similar challenges as small businesses, and really leaning into each other for support, and just so you don't feel so isolated, because sometimes even though you're going through it and it's really, really hard, it does it does help to know that you're not the only one. And, you know, those self-limiting beliefs, they creep in, and you want to give up. So it's nice to keep going and lean into the other people that are here to support you, because nobody wants to see anybody fail. We all want to see everybody here succeed and do really well. One of the things that we were speaking to this morning is we had our small business support hub, or small business resource expo. Oh, all of these things. But we had a small business resource expo this morning. One of the things we talked about is really just, how can we continue to cultivate this entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Livingston County, because small business is really the backbone of our local economy, is our communities, and it really supports the vibrancy and quality of life here in Livingston County. So kudos to you for doing the thing, pursuing your passions, and putting in the work, because it's not easy.
I just want to put a plug in for the referral groups too.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I belong to the best one, which is World Dominators. But I would say
I'm an ex-world dominator.
I would say that the referral group has been an amazing resource. They're so helpful, and it's amazing. So join our referral group.
We have lots of them. I think Stu.
Yeah. Stu's the facilitator of one.
So we'll discuss who's the better one. Maybe have some longevity. So yeah, we kind of taken things over with the Business Builders referral group, and kind of had a big change in the guards recently. There was a core group of about 5 or 6 different people, and I think 4 of them got different jobs, so they had to leave. And then one that wanted to be there too, she got transferred to a different territory. So we kind of started a whole changing of the guards, and it's been a lot of fun, making some great friends, being very personal, very intentional in there, and working on the referrals. And like I said, the cool thing about being with the chamber is you're not by yourself. Even though you may be the only one making the clothes by yourself, you always got a whole team that wants to root for you. They'll point you in any direction you need for any kind of help or anything to help shore you up, or you may be need different places. And I definitely need that. Luckily, I got my daughter. She's shoring me up left and right. I don't know how she does it. She got 3 jobs in the office, but yeah, the chamber's a great resource for anything you can imagine. There's somebody there that's good at what they do, so we don't have to be good at everything. So whether you're a solopreneur or a business owner with a bunch of people, there's always great resources to be found in the chamber for sure.
Awesome. I would add to just a quick plug here for the Small Business Support Hub resource. So I know that you have been program participant through some of the different program offerings that we've had, and I know that you just received notification that you qualified to go through the program. So this program, the Small Business Support Hub, is provided services for technical business support, and this is all done through that MEDC grant. And this is in partnership with our whole region, but we are a service provider for this, and this is part of all of the Livingston Business Hub, and we work with preferred service providers in our region that really provide just exceptional programming and education to entrepreneurs and solopreneurs. So I know, Beth, you mentioned that you're very excited to go through the program and continue to work or start to work with one of our providers, Kevin Saboski. And you've had a great experience just within the little interactions that you've had. So we're really excited to see where that goes for you. And Stu, I want to just give you an opportunity to share a little bit about your experience going through the program.
Yeah, there was a handful of options. I kind of explored a handful of them, but I settled in with, I think, what I need the most, which I need all of them, a lot. But the one I need the most is one-on-one coaching. So I decided to work with Jason Tracy from Roar Consulting, and we've met a number of times one-on-one. We got some more things lined up in the near future, and it's been a huge benefit to me. Like I said, in construction, whether I've had a couple of different businesses, nothing's prepared me for what I'm doing now. But Jason is an expert with coaching people, expert with sales. He brings so many great things to the table. He knows how to tweak some things that I've been working on, how to make a few changes, and I've had some great results. And it kind of leads back to what we talked about in the beginning. Clothes don't really give me confidence, but if I can clearly, like I'm doing now, I can clearly illustrate what I'm doing and why I'm knocking on somebody's door a little bit better. This is what we do with our business. This is why you need to work with us. So anyways, just by working with him, I got a lot more confidence in my communication skills. I know that's hard to imagine. I'm better than I used to be, but I'm getting there, and I'm still working at it. Jason's got a lot of work to do. But
you are you, and that's what, and that's it. We all speaking to that kind of that negative self-talk that we do. One of the things that I've been one of the speakers that we have, or our keynote speaker for our Athena event, she's talking about the comparison trap, and where it's making sure that your metrics for success are based on you, not on the standards of that your industry puts out or that you see other people achieving, because everybody's at a different place. They have different personalities. They have different approaches. So you can't set your metrics for success based on other people. So you're doing great.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
You are. That's really great. And you both bring genuine authenticity and passion to what you do. And that will take you very, very
makes
far.
you approachable.
There's another, phrase that I've heard, read, shared, whatever, but it's, you lead with passion and purpose and the money will follow. So
I like it.
let's see. Anything else that you guys want to share? So we talked about the Small Business Support Hub program. So through that grant, if businesses qualify, you don't have to be a chamber member. We'd love to have you as chamber members because it's a great way to continue to build your network and to grow your business. But you can qualify for all of these programs to be completely covered. So I think to me, this is kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity. It can really be transformational for businesses in our region. So we'd love to see more people apply and become part of the program. Beth, you just went through the application process. How was it?
I'm sitting here while you're talking and thinking about what even was on the application. I don't even remember why I qualified.
There are 4 qualifying criteria. So you only have to meet one of the 4 qualifying criteria. One of them is like a woman-owned business. So that could be it. Some of them depend on geographic location. They're pretty much, I mean, if you're a business in the whole region, you're going to qualify.
Talking to all entrepreneurs and solopreneurs that are listening, I wouldn't worry about what the qualifications are. Just call and apply. Go online and apply, and we'll take care of the rest.
Yep.
And there's that office space in the chamber that you get to use if you get the grant. And there's a lot of things that come along with it that I have to go back and read because I still don't remember. It was a lot.
Yes, that's a launch pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits in there. So get signed up, see if you're qualified, and jump in and get going with it. That's for sure.
Well, and come check out our 2 amazing entrepreneurs that are doing awesome things in our community. You guys are exceptional, and we look up to you and the things that you're doing because it's hard work.
It is very hard work.
So we're celebrating you this week and all year round. But thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to catch you next time on the How Will Business Be.